Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the proof. We're going to be looking at the equation of a circle here in Key Skill 1. That means we're going to be given the equation and we're going to be asked to determine what is the center of the circle and what is the radius, and asked to do a little sketch, okay? So in the proof we learned what the formula was for the equation of a circle. If you haven't seen that, go back. If you need to recap, the equation for the circle was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And we said that hk was the center of the circle and r was the radius. Once you know the formula for the equation of the circle, it's pretty easy. You just need to take your general formula here and compare it. So comparing this equation here, we can see that 2 must be k. And you can think of plus 1 because we've got a minus k here. As minus 1, okay? Or minus k is plus 1, so k is minus 1. So the center has to be 2 minus 1, and the radius squared is 4, so the radius has to be 2. When you take the square root and you're finding the radius, you only take the positive value because length has to be a positive. If your equation was x minus 2 squared, y plus 1 squared equals 4, your center of your circle would be 2 and minus 1, and your radius would be 2. To draw a quick sketch, I just like to pencil these in. So I'll go here 2 and down to minus 1, and then put 4 spots with a radius of 2. So 1, 2 up, 1, 2 down, 1, 2 to the left, and 1, 2 to the right. And it's that simple. You can write down your equation as well if you want. Let's have a look at another example. We've been asked once again to state the radius and the center of the circle and do a quick sketch. So applying the same method as before, we compare it to the formula. And we can see that hk must be 1/2 minus 3. And we're told that r squared is equal to 54. Now we can take the square root of 54 and we can break that down a little bit. We know that 54 is 9 times 6, so it must be r is equal to 3 square root 6. If you need to do that in your calculator simplify that down for you as well. Or roughly 7.3. So we pencil the center in first at 1/2 minus 3. So here's 1/2 minus 3. And you roughly want to go, it's a bit more than 7, but 7 and a bit up, down, left and right. Need a bit of extra space down here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a bit. Then you could join them up together. I would definitely make sure that I was labeling the center of that circle clearly. Okay, and you can always write the formula here on the outside. So you can write like x minus 1/2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 54. Okay, last one in this key skill. This one looks a bit tricky because it's harder to see it in terms of the formula that we've been looking at. But if you think about this equation like this, x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals to 4 squared. You can even write your radius as a square. It becomes quicker to see that the center must be 0, 0, or the origin, and the radius is 4. So you're marking your center 0, 0 and your radius 4. There we go. So that's done. So the first key skill you should have learned, if they give you the formula for the circle, you should be able to work out what is the center of that circle and what is the radius. And you should be able to use the spotty technique just to get a rough sketch going. A sketch is so important when the question gets more complicated to visualize it. In the next key skill, you're going to need to be able to complete the square. We have a whole mini series on completing the square. If that's something that's a bit rough or a bit unsure for you right now, go back, rewatch that series before you start the next key skill. And I will see you in key skill 2.